up, guys? John Coleman here, and you're watching the Honest Redneck YouTube channel. This is going to be part 2. Part 1 was the unboxing, but this is part 2 of my Slash Unassembled Kit rebuild, or build. This, like I explained in the last video, is going to be my new one for next year's Shaw Series race. And right now I'm going to do a couple pages. I'm going to save the shocks till I get the shock caps. So page 2 I'm not going to do till later on. But I'm going to do a couple pages in this video and then save a couple more pages in the next video. So here we go. Okay, as you see here, it's telling me my first bag, or the first thing I'm going to do is the differential. So what I'm going to do, come down here in the handy dandy box, find the differential. There it is, the differential bag. We'll get this cut open. I laid out a paper towel so that none of the parts gets contaminated inside of this, because don't want any premature wear. I'll go ahead and dump everything out, set the grease to the side. I'll keep that bag there just in case I need to put stuff in it, but got all your hardware and your grease right here. Set the housing there, cover there, and all my gears and pins, set them down here. Our gears and sun gears, or ring gear, planetary gears, sun gears. Let's cut open the hardware bag. We'll dump it out right over here. And then we'll open up our grease bag. Now, instructions here is first showing put in one of the sun gears, and then a 2.5 by 8.8 millimeter pin, which I do believe is going to be this short pin right here, into the sun gear, just like that. There's the sun gear, there's that pin. Now, with that done, I'm set it right here. Now it's asking me to put each one of these other little pins in the ring, or the planetary gears. So what I'll do, I'll put my pins in the diff first. Kind of makes it easier this way if you already have them in here. Don't mind that noise, it's just my cat's playing with old shoe boxes. Don't drop the pins. Like that. Have all 4 pins in. Now I'm gonna drop my planetary gears in and just kind of rotate the sun gear so it drops where it needs to. These other ones, you got a higher one and a lower one. The lower ones will key into the sun gear that's in there already. Then the higher ones will key into the other planetary gear. So, drop the lower one, spin it until it drops in there. Drop the upper one, spin it until it drops in there. Now, it's saying to literally, or liberally, yeah, another one of the hard words to say when you've been up all day. Liberally coat all gears. So what I like to do, put a dab there, and then I will spin them back and forth a little bit. That way it gets around in there. Put another dab over here. Rotate it so it gets all the gears covered. And I like to kind of fill up these tracks as differentials. For me, they tend to work a little better. I may just go ahead and put the whole thing in here. Get it nice and good and greased up. Now I will set the other sun gear on top. Spin it right there a little bit. Get a good coat on it. And then take the top cover and put it on, kind of lining the pins up with their corresponding hole, and smash it in there. Now that that's smashed in there, take the 4 screws they provide, which look like they take the 2.0 millimeter driver, run them in by hand. Go down till it just touches. Then I'll put one across. If you're doing lug nuts, it's like doing a star pattern on your 5-star lug nuts or 5 lug wheels. Just till it touches, then I'll put another one in. Once I get all 4 in and down to where it touches, I will go and turn them till I feel them tight. Go across, turn it till I feel it tight. Just like this. Don't want to tighten them too much because it is plastic after all. So you'll run it down till it feels like it's snug and then give it just a little bit of a turn. Just a smidge. There are metal gears inside there, even the sun gear, and then your ring gear is metal. But the housing is all plastic. So you want to be careful on tightening this down. Now that that's done, what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to save the shocks for later. I'm going to set this to the side. Put my cap on my grease because there's still grease in here. I can probably use that here in a little bit. Now I need to grab the gearbox halves. Right here. Throw away this. Just cutting one side of this bag because I'm not going to need all of this right at the moment. I just need the halves, both gray pieces, the hardware, the bearings, and all the gears. Put this back in here for now. Set that to the side. And then you're going to orient it to the same as the picture. So right now I'm going to put all these to the side. I need to get 4 of the 5 by 11 by 4 millimeter ball bearings, which is right here. So I'll make a little slit right here in this. Squeeze me out 4 of them. There's my 4. Now, where you need to put them is right here. It's going to be one of them. You want to kind of fully push it in there. I'll usually take my cross wrench and just set it on the bearing and make sure it's pushed in there flat. And you have one right here where the diff rides. Push it down in there, make sure it's seated in there good. Same thing on this side. Right here where the center diff or the diff rides, and right here where the input gear goes through. just like that. Now that we have that, we need the 22 tooth idler gear, which I already have pretty much assembled with the gear on it, like that. And we will need one of the, or two of these little washers here, spacers. I'll go ahead and get all the bearings and everything out of here. Well, just the ones I need to get out to get the washers out. And these are 5x8 by 0.5 Ptfe washers. And it's asking for one on this end of the input shaft and this end of the input shaft. Just like so. Then you're going to take the side that the motor mounts to, and you will be putting it in that bearing. There's that gear. Now it's asking for a drop of grease on that. So I'll grab my grease. I'll put a drop of it right there. Just like that. Now, on to part C, I will need to grab the idler gear, 2 bearings. The good thing about the Slash is pretty much all the bearings are the same size. We'll put one in each side of the idler gear, like so. And then I will need the idler gear shaft, which is right there. What I like to do, I like to put it right here in the transmission case, push it real good in there, and I will set the idler gear on it. Then take my grease, I think I just had a bearing fall out. Yep. I'll take my grease, put another dab there. And then I will spin this just a little bit to kind of spread the grease amongst the gears. Now that that's done and in there, I missed a step. I will have to get my fingers dirty. Don't make this mistake. That's why it's always good to double check your book and make sure you do step by step. I'm gonna grab me a paper towel here, clean my hands, throw away this bag. Now I got both washers on there. Next step is to get hardware. Shows here, you need to get 5 of the 23mm M3 bolts or screws. So what I'm going to do is over here on this clean side, I'm going to dump them all out right here. These 2 are motor bolts. That's for mounting the motor. That's for your slipper. This is the pin for the slipper. So I have a little stand deal here I can put this all in. Just so I don't lose them. Conveniently, Traxxas puts, and I found this out with my TRX4. I think I still have the book for it, maybe not. A measuring deal on bottom to measure the length of your screws. So you set the flat of the bottom of the screw on there, and this is going to be 23 millimeters. So I need 5 of these. I'll set them next to each other. Get them all the same length. 3, 4, 5, and 1 of the 20 millimeter, which is probably going to be this one right here. Yep. There's it. I'll put this bearing over here. Set all these others screws in my little holder here. Now, it is asking me to put my diff into the case. A dab of grease on it. So I'll put a dab there, a dab here, and a dab here. I don't skim out on my grease, and I will just spin it slowly, kind of get it spread around in there. And now I will install the other half of the gear. Let me put this the right way. Come back here. That looks right now. Now put the other half on, lining up the diff and closing it up. Now it is asking for the 20 right here, and all the other ones, all the 23s around the outside, right here, down here, and up here. Now I'll do all these up. A lot of times you gotta kind of give it a little bit of force, starting new threads. What I should be doing is using some chapstick, kind of lubricate the threads. Then I'll run it down till it touches, and I'll go across to, we'll go all the way over here. All the way right here. Tighten that one up. I'll go down here. Sometimes I grab the handle down here by the shaft of it and spin it better. That one's not want to start. I have to give it a little push to start the threads. There we go. The assembling kit you don't really want to use. I mean, yeah, you can use an electric screwdriver, kind of like this one, but you don't really want to use it because it can overheat the plastic and strip the threads. So you kind of want to do it by hand. Get everything tight by hand. That one's tight. I'll go up here. Get that one on. It's gonna be a wrist workout. Go ahead and tighten all these up. Switch hands here. In this transmission is about the only spot you're going to need the grease. So what I do, and I'll show you once I'm done right here. Go through and make sure all my screws are tight. Not too tight because you don't want to strip them out. a rag, one type paper towel, clean up any excess grease off of it. And as you can see right here, there's an opening right there. And you can see the differential in there. What I do, take the rest of the grease, I just fill it up. And then rotate the input. Get all this grease in this tube in there. Some people will like to use different grease and kind of thin it out some, or use thinner grease. I use this grease. Smear that on there. This grease comes with it, and I will fill this up with the grease that's left in here. Just like that. That's all of the grease. Spread it around in there. Now, at this point, we'll need to clean off around the transmission, around that hole, because on these Traxxas models, as you can tell, there's a hole there, so it's not sealed. Throw away all this. You will need, inside the transmission bag, they supply you with a piece of tape to cover, or vinyl tape to cover up that hole. So you peel it off, and you'll stick it just like that, right over the hole. Just push it down on there, make sure it's good and seated to it, and that will keep a lot. It don't prevent the dirt from getting in, but will keep a lot of the dirt out. And that is a completed transmission. On to the next page, which I believe we're going to finish this transmission as far as installing the pinion and everything. Or not the pinion, the slipper clutch. So now I'm going to get all this out. In this bag here you have the bag's empty. You have part of the slipper clutch. You have the part that the friction pads go on, and I'll show you how to put them on in a minute. You got the motor plate for this mesh. I won't use that. Your spring for your slipper clutch. Your slipper clutch disc, which goes right here, and this is the one that goes on the back side. So you have this that rides like this. The spur goes on it, and this is a 9 tooth. I believe I have an 86 in my other one, but right now what I'm going to do is take this little pin, dry pin that they supply, and slide it in the input shaft here. Just like so. Right there, just like that. I will take this side of the slipper assembly, slide it down on there, make sure it's over that input gear. Now, I will assemble the friction pads right here. Look like little bitty brake pads. Come on, focus. Like little bitty brake pads. Onto this piece. There's little dowels on there that they just slide onto. Now, that does kind of, they do have a way to go on there. You just gotta play with it and find out. But you have kind of rounded edges on one side and flat on the other. Mash together like that. Now your friction pads are done. I just set it on top. Actually, I need a bearing. Set it on top. Take your spring. Set it on there. Which I don't know why they have you doing it this way. I'm going to do it my way. So, I'm going to set them aside. Set that down there. I'm going to grab my spur gear. I'm going to pop that piece on it. Just like that. Put the bearing in right here. Fully seated. And we'll take these cap screws that are 6mm long. My 2.5, I believe they are. Yep, 2.5. And I'll screw these down. Screw this friction pad to my spur. Got my cat over here climbing in the slash box. Get every one of these down and tight. Just like so. And then I will line up my steel friction pad. Set this on there. Spring. Then my nut. Grab my 7mm. Where are you going with you? 7mm nut driver. You can use the cross wrench that comes with the kit. And I will stick a driver in the... Actually, I'll do it this way. Stick an Allen wrench in here. I will stick one of my speed drivers in the other one. There we go. That way it holds the out drive. Now we'll turn it all the way until the spring is fully compressed. Which is right there, that's fully locked. And then you will turn it counterclockwise. One full turn is what the instruction says. So let me get this set up. So right there I got everything locked up. I'll make note of where my layers are. They're facing this way. So I'm going to go one full turn back that way. So it backs the spring off some. Then when I get on the track, I will adjust it from there. And in the kit, it shows, or in the instruction book, it shows you to stick an Allen here and a wrench here, which I didn't hurt nothing doing that. And that is a complete transmission minus the motor, which I'm not putting in yet till I break it in, and the gear cover. Now, I will, just so I don't have screws laying around, empty bags laying around, go ahead and install the inner axles and put the rubber stopper into the diff case, or the gear cover. Like so. I'll set that to the side. And we'll take these in my 1.5. One hex driver I didn't grab. I will grab these two screws. They kind of have a shank on them. with threads right here. Put the drive shaft on. Put that through because it will go through the sun gear and all. Tighten it down. That's one. Do the other side. Where there's one, there's two. And that is all I'm going to do for this video. I have a complete spec / transmission. So, if you like what you see, if this video was of any help, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And I will see you next Track / Tuesday or / Build Tuesday. So until then, be you, be true, be honest. See you guys.